I'm still a member of society as well. I'm still
Yes.
someone who calls 911 when there's a crime being committed outside of my back, front door or whatever. So, and that's, I think, where the perspective issue gets lost, because they look at me as, well, you're responding as an officer. I'm like, no, I'm responding as a 29-year-old resident of San Diego who sees crime constantly in my own backyard. And I can't do anything about it if I'm off duty and I'm walking my dogs and something's happening that's, doesn't involve great bodily injury. So people automatically assume that when I respond about something, I'm responding from a law enforcement perspective. But in reality, I'm responding with perspective from both being a civilian and being a part of government. And so when I say that people don't know how to put themselves in each other's shoes, I also mean that sometimes officers do completely lose their own identity and they do become fully government. And you're like, where did your humanity go? But then the same also happens for people that remain civilians, is they assume that law enforcement loses their identity when some, if not most of us, still maintain an identity. We have kids, we go to concerts, we have family members that struggle with addiction. We're still people too. And so that's where I meant that both sides kind of get lost, because you don't have to be in my position as a government agent to know what I might be experiencing in my personal life.
You're absolutely right. There are people who have never looked at anyone in uniform as someone who is a member of the greater society. And I'm so glad that you also mentioned that there are officers who have lost sight of the fact that they are citizens. We've had officers share that. We've had officers share that at times they have lost sight of the fact that they're a community member, that 95%, if not higher, the people in a certain community, the law-abiding citizens. It's always the 3 to 5% causing problems. Hard stop. So it's a great point that you make, Grace. And as we continue to communicate with one another, you'll see that there's always, whatever point you're trying to make, whatever perspective you have, the other side of the coin is either the civilian or the law enforcement side. It's the same coin. We want the same things.